they come back kind of more forged also as siblings, right? So they spend a month together and they can rely on each other.
I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading camps and kids programs. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
We were just talking about that in preparing for our discussion. It was a bit of a guess. The kids had gone to camps in Quebec, but at the time I was working in Ottawa, and we were looking for a camp that was, within 3.5 hours of Ottawa. And we were also looking for a camp that displayed a family feel. They were, on side of the water. For our kids, it's very important to not to be too condensed in the daily schedule. So when we saw the initial schedule with a morning break and a lot of downtime for the kids to relax, that was quite appealing for us.
Also, the international side of this camp was important for us because our kids being from Quebec, they're French speaking at home. So we didn't want them to be the only ones who were not fluent in English. So they don't feel apart from the others in Camp Edenwoods.
I think just kind of building on what my wife said, the international dimension is incredible. We were not expecting for so many students and counselors to come from abroad, Spanish, French, German, from Israel, a lot of also Eastern Europe, some from the US also, and obviously some from Canada. So the international diversity of the cohort was quite appealing for us.
Also, the rhythm of the camp is quite unique because they have a lot of free time. They have a lot of time to do some activities they like, to make bonds with the other campers. And this is very important because kids nowadays are very structured in their day-to-day world, in their day-to-day activities with the school, the sports, so this camp is actually very great because it lets them time to cool down and not be always organized and not optimize every minute of every day. And that's very important during the summer. And we believe that this capacity of taking downtime is sometimes forgotten in what kids have to learn to become better adults. We don't want our kids to have a nervous breakdown at 40, right? So we have to teach them when they're young how to cool down, how to take time for themselves and not organize everything. So this is a big strength of Camp Edenwoods.
I mean, another thing I'd say, Asna, is Leor and Sharon are constantly reinvesting in camp. It's pretty impressive. Every year there's a significant progress, either from an infrastructure perspective. For instance, 2 years ago they put this huge slide and redid the whole dock area. They're constantly also reviewing the menu to make sure that it's well balanced from a nutritional perspective. They're also diversifying the curriculum of activities. So I find that we find that also quite unique is the mentality to reinvest and always make it better. Oh God, yes, significantly.
Yes.
So this is their 6th year. It's going to be their 6th year. Obviously, 2020, the camp was closed for obvious reasons, but every year when they come back, we see more autonomy in just, day-to-day routine, thinking, developing one's opinion on certain things. appreciating diversity.
Leadership,
Yeah, leadership.
social relations, how they get to resolve their problems by their own with the use of adults, right? Because there are plenty of good role model amongst the counselors and the directors, and Sharon and Leor, but the kids, they have to manage their relations by themselves. So that is a big strength that they're learning at camp. Also, well, I remember the first time we came to get the kids at camp, the first year they were there. So our youngest, he cried when he saw us. I said, "Oh, honey, what's wrong? Why are you crying?" And he said, "I'm so sorry, but I didn't miss you at all." So we thought he was crying because he was so happy to see us, but actually he cried because he realized that he actually had forgotten that we existed, which is a very good thing, because kids learn to be autonomous when they're away from us. And being very invested parents, it's important for the kids to be away from us, so we're not invested and they invest in themselves. I'm not sure that's well said. English is not, I don't use it as much as he does, so.
Asna, the other thing I'd probably add also is they come back kind of more forged also as siblings, right? So they, they spend a month together, and they can rely on each other for whatever happens at camp. Obviously, there's a few French speaking, either from Europe or from Eastern Canada, but if they just want to vent on something, and siblings, they're there for one another. So we often notice that they come back more forged, which helps for the school year that's ahead.
And also because it's not a big camp, so they see each other every day. There's a big family feel in Camp Eden Woods. A lot of siblings go there. Some have 3, 4 siblings in camp. So the family feel is reproduced in the home. They're friends with brothers and sisters, so they do get closer in camp. It's a lot of camps are only girls or boys. The fact that this camp has a mixity of boys and girls was also one of the reasons why we originally chose Camp Eden Woods.
That's a good question.
Well, I'd say kids need time away from their parents to develop. And it's also very good for parents to have time without the kids over time. It's like a time off button for the kids and for the parents. And it's very good because when all the family is back together, it's like a reset. So that's important. Also, kids learn to be independent when they're away from their parents, which is very important because as parents, we want to grow independent young adults. We want them to be able to develop and learn. At one point, they're always going to be our children, but they're not going to be children. They're just going to be adults around us. So we want them to be independent, and overnight camp is essential to that, we believe. The thing with Camp Eden Woods also, I'm going to add that the fact that there are showers and bathrooms in the cabins.
Yes, that's true.
Is very important because the young kids, I remember when I was young, I used to go to overnight camps and we had to go out in the forest to go to the bathroom at 2 a.m. But then we wouldn't go to the bathroom at 2 a.m. because we were too afraid, and then we wouldn't fall back asleep. So we'd come back from camp exhausted because we hadn't slept in weeks. But the fact that there are showers and bathrooms in the cabin makes it much, much easier for younger kids at 5, 6, 7 to have a certain normal routine that helps us to benefit from all the good things that are offered at camp.
Yeah, so I mean, the benefits are proven that, for development, long-term development purposes, it's good that they are away from the family dwellings for a while. What I would say is start small. We didn't send our kids to camp off a month from the get-go. So we had a camp that was close here, just north of Montreal, and we sent them there for, I think, a 3-day overnight, 4 days, and it went really well. And then we quickly piled on to get to a month. But the response was very, very positive. And after the first trial, actually even before the 3-day trial, the school had done a 2 overnight. And you see them reacting, it's going well, you give them confidence, and it just snowballs to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks quite quickly. So you've got to try it. Yeah, I mean, write letters, use the communication tools that are non-digital to get you back into the feel of camp. So
The thing is also, there are pictures posted every day
that's true.
and videos posted every day. So you have news of your kids, and we look at the pictures every day, and sometimes we're 3 to 4 days without seeing your kids, and still after 7 years, like, how come I haven't seen my kid in 4 days? Okay, relax, you're gonna see him tomorrow, and then we see them the day after. So, but they are pictures posted every day, and camp actually makes an effort to post pictures of mostly every kid.
Yeah.
So parents can expect news during the week. Also, when you're a parent and you send your kids to an overnight camp, the thing is you have to let go on a lot of things, which is very good for parents and very good for kids. So don't expect them to take a shower every day. Don't expect them to brush their teeth. Don't expect them to bring everything that they brought to camp back, because they're gonna lose half of their stuff, right? But that's actually part of the learning process, that you need to make mistakes to learn and make mistakes on your own. That part is important, and some of our friends' parents are, resistant to send their kids to overnight camp. But it's all about letting go. You have to let go of things that you think are important, but overall in a lifetime, not really important, not really important if they don't brush their teeth for a week or 2 weeks or even a month, right?
Hopefully this helps.
And just so you know, counselors do check the teeth brushing in the shower. So it's not like they all let it go, right? I just want to make sure, I'm not saying they're not watching any of this, they are. But big picture, it's not going to be like home, and it's okay.
Oh wow. They get into a lot of the times they're in the routine of camp, right? So there's songs in the mornings, routines at kind of lunchtime and dinner time, contests, jokes. They talk a lot about that. They're really into the routine. A lot of the singing at camp, songs. There's the cabin feel also. So they bring back a lot of those memories.
The friends, the
The
relationships.
friends, the relationships. They do also talk about Emma, for instance, likes water skiing, and they're out in the lake every day with the boat, and she's water skiing. Edward likes to go on the dock and fish. He was actually the one that pulled out the biggest pike in the history of camp. So they often reference the the free time slots where they're just hanging out with their friends, eating a bag of chips,
Doing their nails, even if they're boys, because that's not important, right? Because you're at camp and you can do whatever you want. So
yeah,
they love their camp. When they come back from camp, we usually have a 2 to 5 days period where they're kind of hard to reach, because they want to go back and they don't understand why life is not always like at camp.
yeah.
Why do we have to come back to a normal life? We can live that all the time. So that part is actually a good indicator of how much they love their camp.
Yeah.
Usually the months passed, and around March, April, May, now that they're in their school routine with their friends, they're a bit reticent. They say, why again am I going 1 month at camp? I'm hesitating. But then we remember them. Remember how you felt in August when you came back? Oh yeah, that's so great. Oh, Mom, you remember the stars? No, honey, I haven't been to camp. The stars are marvelous, and the water is so good, and the singing, and we can dance whenever we want, and we play volleyball, and so they bring back their memories, and then they remember how much they love it.
I mean, for folks considering camps in Northern Ontario or Northeastern Ontario, you should seriously consider the Camp Hidden Woods for the following reasons. According to me, the family feel it's focused on the kids' pleasure, the infrastructure, the fact that they have a lot of free time. They also have visits. If you're considering sending your kid to camp for 4 or 6 weeks, you can visit halfway. And then the international dimension is not to be overseen. It's significant how they learn from other cultures, from other sports, from other interests. Quite well balanced across these multiple facets.
The fact that our kids went to Camp Eden was actually shaped a lot of their personalities, a lot of their learning in a good way, because they did develop some independence, and they did learn how to relax, how to focus on important things. Let's remember that is a device-free camp. And
That's true.
This is very important also for the kids. 1 month without your phone and your device is actually a good thing in the learning development of the kids.
For more information about this program, you can visit their profile at OurKids.net.